Hey, what's happening, everybody? It is Tuesday night, which means Dead Dollies is live. Tonight we have Victoria Stevens and Carrie Rose welcoming the Kitty Sage to their trio of trouble. We'll be talking horror as always, and the girls have some great topics for you. This show is brought to you in part by Zombies vs. Robots, New Jersey Horror Con, Bloodshed Farms, and Nightmare Paintball. Feel free to join the conversation, to get in with comments. Make sure you love, share your little happy faces, and definitely share the video. With that, I'm going to turn things over to you, Victoria.
Hi, I'm Victoria Stevens, and to my right, hi, I'm Carrie Rose. And our newest member here, she's our new add-on host.
Hi, I'm Kitty Sage.
And we decided this time, for this show, we picked haunted places that we love learning about. So we have all different spectrums, I feel like. We all went and did our own haunted place, but when we came together, it was pretty interesting which one we picked.
Yes.
So, who would like to go first? Okay,
Well, wait, before you do that, why don't you tell everybody about your week and
Oh,
the audience
yeah.
know a little bit?
Good. I need to tell everyone about this. So I'm in a feature film. So next week you will not see this beautiful face because I'm going to be a butcher. And it's a really awesome film about basically vigilantes who go rogue. So when criminals get out of a lot of things that they, by the judge.
Justice isn't served.
Exactly.
Right.
That's where I come in. Yeah. It's going to be hilarious. It's going to be fun. Hilarious for me because I'm always comedic in my roles, but it's a lot of improv. So it should be really fun to do. So yes, that's something to look forward to. And hopefully I'll keep tagging on my Facebook, so please keep looking back on there. Of course, it's just Victoria Stevens, so you can find me. Carrie, how was your week? Or a week, I guess, isn't it?
My week was a joke. My weekend, I got to go to Bloodshed Farms for the very first time.
Nice. So what did you like about it? Or didn't like about it?
It's extremely big.
Okay.
I got to tour the clown, the asylum, and one other place. The chair, which I couldn't see that, but you told me.
The bloodshed.
Yeah. That gets all your fears. You get stuck in a room, just dark and everything, and everybody on the other side gets to watch your reactions.
Oh my god.
I would piss myself. Literally, probably piss myself sitting in there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, interesting. Well, she had a fun event.
Sounds fun.
And
Already, we've got comments. I just want to say, Lizzie, who worked on our TV show, who's worked with us at Dead Dollies, says hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Pete Fulmer, who does Dead End. Sorry, says hello, ladies.
Hi. Hi, guys.
So sorry to interrupt.
No worries. All right, and for our new add-on, what was your week like?
My week, well, I am a stay-at-home mom, so I am your resident homicidal homemaker. I took care of my kitties.
Nice.
Made sure they didn't kill themselves, so I consider that a win.
Talk about kids, not real cats. Just want to make sure make sure you got that one.
Or so you think.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. I love animals,
Yeah.
especially kitties.
Yeah. Oh, dog just popped down. So that was our week. So I guess I will start. Or Blake wants to start things off first. But
He's barking at the ice cream truck. I don't know if he's already go by.
I'm sorry, you have to feed your dog some ice cream so we can go. Now, I actually did, my topic was Alcatraz. I like this topic because I like learning about history, but what actually went on there. And actually, what I did learn a lot was at first it was like a fort for like during the wars. So it wasn't originally the prison that we all know to hear about the hauntings and stuff. It originally was a fort, and it became Alcatraz later on down the line. You know, so it was really interesting because they would have they would lock up like Native Americans there who weren't listening to U.S. soldiers.
Wow.
They would lock up Spanish people. They got off the ships during the war, Spanish and Indian War or Spanish and American War.
Wow.
And then they also had, so it's going to be like so many ethnicities, different cultural shock, in one prison. And I feel like that in itself would just have too much problems. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like people not knowing what someone else is saying and getting offended by some tone that they don't even know what they're saying. So, but I digress there. So we'll keep going. So when the Alcatraz that we know, that was built, back in like 1900s, and that was basically built for, it's called the disciplinary barracks. But they would do so there's different cell blocks, and cell blocks A, B, and C there's a few hearings about different hauntings in there. Definitely 14D. That was the one with the hole. They call them holes. There's about 4 of them. And that's where if you got into big trouble, you would be put in there you would have bread and water. It would be completely black, dark. You did have one little tiny light bulb. So this was like an upgrade from some of the others.
So almost like solitary.
It was definitely solitary. And then they gave you a mattress, but then they took it away after nighttime.
Wow.
So you sat on. But the 14D.
That's very cruel.
It was crazy. Well, 14D had a guy who one of the prisoners kept on screaming and saying, there's an evil creature with red eyes in here who's trying to kill me. And all the soldiers wouldn't listen to him. He kept screaming the entire night and then stopped. And in the morning, he was found strangled to death. And they did autopsies on it, and he couldn't have done it himself.
Right, and he's completely in solitary, so
Yeah.
no one else
So
can
no one,
do that.
unless it was a guard, and they were saying, but nobody confessed to it.
Right,
And the autopsy didn't find any evidence of any of the guards' fingerprints.
right.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is.
And they were saying that it was an old inmate doing it that died before.
Well, speaking on the
That's
Native American
creepy.
part,
Mm-hmm.
there are different, legends and different spirits that they believe in that could very well, fit that profile.
Oh, it's totally. The Native Americans, after Alcatraz was worn down by the water and everything, and they were going to close it up, Native Americans did try to take over that island. But then they called it like the Evil Spirit Island, I think is how they were pronouncing it. And people just couldn't live on it. Like it was like the whole island wouldn't have any crops on it. Like it was just
Right.
like the whole island knew something bad was happening there.
Well, right.
Taking over. So that was for me that was very interesting. And of course, because there were a lot of people who tried to escape Alcatraz because of all the horrors on it. Like some of them purposely committed suicide. Like one guy literally split his trachea with the sharp edge of a pencil sharpener
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
and killed himself that way. Like,
That's
how crazy is that?
That's crazy.
But I was like, that would hurt more than I think. I don't know. I couldn't even think of doing that.
But that speaks volumes on how he felt there.
The one guy was smart though. He decided just to run, towards the gate because they knew he was going to get shot down.
Right.
That's just the fastest way. But they still say all these spirits that are, who have wrongfully been mistreated there are lingering. And they do say that there's different moans that they hear in different parts of the cell blocks. And they still say that they hear the banjo of Al Capone in the shower
Right.
because he actually had a band when he was on there. He got into a band, but everybody tried to kill him because of what he was, So they allowed him to not have to go out to the playground, and he could stay in the bathrooms and play his banjo. And they still, to this day, say they hear the banjo. So
That's crazy.
I know. But I could go on for a long time about this, but I just like the history of it. I like just, when people are mistreated and they die, I feel like sometimes maybe
They come back and look the place.
well, it's not even like I feel like they are still they don't have that release, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that freedom to move on or whatever.
I believe,
So.
like, if they're mistreated badly, they'll come back and hunt the place
Mhm.
Yeah.
until they get what they want, and then they'll go up to heaven.
Like it's crazy because there's they call it the dungeon, and that was the worst room on Alcatraz, and that was when they basically stripped you down so you were naked, and that's where you got beatings, and you were literally chained to the wall,
Wow.
and you couldn't eat for I think they said like 2 to 3 weeks, like they wouldn't feed them. Like it was basically they fed them like a little bit of water and food just to keep them sustained, but not like health wise. And a lot of people would get sick by, you know, the diseases they caught there, but also a lot of them became insane.
Yeah.
A lot of them. Because once you're so silent, because there, they wouldn't let people talk to each other.
Right. It's a
They
lack
had, like, 5
of
minutes.
mental stimulation. If you're not stimulating your senses, you're going to go into yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like humans were made to talk to to each other.
Uh-huh.
So when you're in complete silence,
You go crazy.
yeah, because
Listening.
you're in your head, you know, so
Yeah.
now you think that you're hearing voices.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then you start seeing things.
Because Al Capone, that's what happened to him.
Yeah.
Is he basically when he came out, they basically said he was insane at that point and died.
He also had syphilis, which can cause
Yeah.
insanity. So
Exactly, but he caught it there.
yes.
Yeah, it wasn't as you know, but that's where all of the major prisoners that they couldn't handle in all of the prisons around there went. You know, people who were always trying to get out, who got out easily and things like that. So, and that's crazy. Like the one, remember the one tried to escape. Let me see what I called it. The Battle of Alcatraz. Remember that one?
Yes.
And there were the 6 guys who took over the gun room.
Yes.
Remember that one?
Yes.
So 6 guys took over the gun room and got the keys to try and get out. But the problem is one of the guards didn't put his keys back, and that one key is the unlock to the outside.
Wow.
So they actually got in but couldn't get out. So they got into this gun room, and it was mandatory to put it back. He didn't do it right after he was done, so it actually saved them.
Wow.
But problem is because no one knew how many prisoners were in there, and a lot of guards were, 3 guards were killed and 2 were wounded. So it was just like they got the Navy in it, they got the military, they got everybody, and they just started shooting it up. So needless to say, like it was intense. Like 3 of the guys died in there from being, shot with the bullets. 2 of them tried to go back to their room and pretend they were part of it.
Yeah.
And of course they were hung, or they were gassed. And the other guy was given a lifetime plus 99 years because he helped some of the guards when they were wounded. So they gave him, they kept him alive.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But I was like, okay, a lifetime,
Yeah.
99 years just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case you lived in your lifetime. Like, I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, okay. But yeah. So that was the one thing I liked to learn about. Like, but I'm also a big history buff. I enjoy learning about wars, and just like really understanding because history repeats itself,
Absolutely.
So it's like no more Alcatraz. You still have another prison out there that goes crazy. But yeah, history does repeat itself. So you
Yeah, it
never know.
certainly does.
So enough of me talking. Which you guys have to check for me?
Well, before you move on,
Oh yeah, sure,
I'm going to give some comments here.
sure.
Tom,
Hi Tom, I see you.
all right, so you already got that one. Chris Sarney, a.k.a. Hot Security from New Jersey, are our comments here.
Hi,
Hi, Chris.
security from New Jersey.
Is anybody is anybody friends with John Coolett?
Yes, that's my uncle.
Okay, John says, great show. Thanks for letting me know about it, Vicky. And there was another comment. Where the hell is it? Okay, Ben, Madison, Tyler, Michael, and John are here.
Hi.
So,
Oh, yes, that's all my cousins. I was like, who? I didn't know we were still
Chris says, when I said hello, Chris Sarney, aka Hot Security, he said, laughing my fucking ass off. What's up, Dead Dollies?
on. Wait. I didn't have anything to laugh at. What?
Oh, he was laughing because he caught a hot security.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, sheesh.
You'll find out in September. You'll all be drooling.
Rolling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you'll all
find
be
out.
drooling.
You found out. I met him.
But all right, we have Karen Connor,
Hi, Karen.
Yeah.
Nathan Kuhn, Shannon Taylor. Shannon
Hi,
said.
Nathan.
Shannon said.
Was it Nathan the guy who won the other book?
Yes.
No, that was Shane.
Oh,
Shane was the one who won.
Oh.
Where's our Shane? He needs to be.
Shannon says, "Hey, kitty."
Hi, Shannon.
Oh, look, we got some weird heart things coming around.
Yeah, that's people giving us love.
Weird heart.
Sorry, guys. I'm just like amazed at the. Yeah, now you put a TV screen in front of me. I can't stop looking at
It's
it.
okay. It makes my job easier.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna let whoever wants to go next start on
Yes. Because I could.
their
keep
stuff,
talking.
and then I'll come back in when there's more comments.
Sure.
You want to go? You want me to go?
I could go.
Yeah.
Don't matter.
I love it.
Doesn't matter.
Go ahead.
I did Eastern State. I picked Eastern State because I actually visited that prison.
Mhm.
Believe it or not, I visited that prison for my very first date.
Nice.
So your first date took you to the prison.
Perfect
Yeah.
date. Yeah, I like that weird stuff. I would be completely impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I toured the prison. You toured it before.
Yeah, I love Eastern State. I
Mhm.
love it. It's like this big medieval castle in the middle of this urban, city. It's
Yeah.
just beautiful.
Mhm.
Yes, I love
When I
it.
got to the one room, I forget where it is. There's
The
like a
dentist
chair. I think so. There was a chair just sitting in the middle of that room.
Yeah, I think that's the dentist.
Well, there
I
was
got
also
chills in
punishment.
that room.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
I got chills in that room.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All throughout, I just got chills. Like,
Oh my god.
as he's telling me things, and I'm just like, oh my god, it's so awesome, but it's so freaky.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was because I did one of the hauntings for Terror Behind the Walls there, and I was one of the
How
actors.
is that?
It was. I mean, the prompt. Okay, so when we're doing the haunting, it's awesome, but there are things that do happen throughout the haunt.
Oh,
It's
so
that
that-
behind the scenes.
But we're like in the some of them are in the prisons themselves haunting it, right? So
Right.
we're already in the environment, and like some lights are turning off in the hallways,
Oh,
and like it's creepy because it's also freaking yourself out,
Right.
and you're trying to scare other people, but
right.
you're
You're
getting freaked
there
yourself.
to freak them out, and you're freaked
Exactly,
out.
and so, but I was always on the outside. I did the right before you go into the prison,
When you're in line,
not in line. So it was called the
little courtyard
Park,
area.
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So I was the psychiatrist.
Oh, nice.
And so I basically checked to make sure you're okay to go in, kind of feel, So
Nice.
it was fun. It was crazy fun. I did it like the 1 year. Everyone keeps asking when I'm coming back, and
I haven't gone back yet.
you
because-
should.
It's fun.
They're hiring now if you want to have a go on in there.
One of my friends wanted to take me there, and then they're all just like, yeah. So never did that before.
Yeah, now they have it where you can actually touch the people if they
Oh
have
my
like, a certain
gosh.
wristband thing on, which I don't know if I would do because the one time a guy I scared him and he went and uppercutted me, kind of feel, and my nose started bleeding. I had to go to the medical ward,
Oh my god.
and I was like, and his wife was like, "What did you do? What did
Yeah.
you do?" And I was like, it was cool because I was like, okay, but it was just like it hurt like.
It's like
Crazy.
bad reflex.
Oh.
Oops.
Yeah,
Sorry.
and of
I-
course, my friend had to see that.
I, as a haunter, as a professional haunter,
Uh-huh.
have a policy on the whole touching thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to put people off of haunts where they do touch you, but my policy and my personal beliefs have always been if you have to touch the customers, you're not scaring them.
Mm-hmm.
You should be able to scare. People are coming to a haunt to be scared.
Right. Exactly.
You should be able to scare your customers without
Yeah,
having to touch them.
that's true.
See, I'm one of those people with really, really bad asthma. So, like, if I went into a plant like that, I don't know what in the world, what would happen.
Yeah, because with all the smoke they use too sometimes.
Yeah.
But I would say if you ever do that, you would want to do like the outside thing. It's still so musky inside, you know, with
Smoke
everything.
Well, not only that,
is
the age
one
of the
of
Exactly.
yeah, smoke is one of like I'm gonna kill you because my asthma. Like
Yeah.
Keep in mind that when we're for those that don't know, we have Nightmare Paintball coming to Bloodshed Farms this year as a new attraction. Carrie, when you're up there working that, you'll get. I don't want to take anything away and say that we get special treatment, but you'll get a little added touch when you go through the haunts up there because they know who you are.
oh
nice.
yeah. So,
So-
when I was shown there, they already told me there's a bunch of smoke and stuff, and I'm just like, thanks.
See, I'm one of the people who's a smart ass when I go to haunts, and like, so you're trying to scare me, and you're like saying things to me, and then I just kind of am sarcastic,
Right.
and I always get like the biggest baddest guy, and I always like mess with them, so they come after me.
Do you get scared easily?
No, and that's the problem. It's like I want to push the limits because I want to be scared more. Like you're saying, like some corny stuff to like trying to push my buttons, and I'm like, okay, I can dish it back.
Yeah.
You know, I want that you know face-to-face experience almost.
Yeah. That would. Yeah. That's
Like
what-
I
that's
definitely
what
wouldn't
it's like.
punch you because I'm like pushing for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's why I always feel like the constant in your face, like shocker. That's
Yeah.
the thing that scares people the most.
Mhm.
'Cause
See,
it's-
I
you're
get
getting in
scared
their bubble,
easily.
you know.
I get scared easily.
So if you see like if you see a mouse running and you get
No.
freaked out.
No, there was times where friends scared me, and I just was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's like a
God.
fight or flight response.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, she's coming down the basement. Like,
Yeah, and today, he did it today. I was uppercutting him. It's
Oh
just
my
a bad
gosh.
reflex.
So I know that we've jumped off into Terror Behind the Walls, but about Eastern State, did you learn anything interesting things that you would like us to know about?
Yeah.
You know, because I know the history of the thing there.
Yes. It is.
It's
Speaking
really
of Al
insane.
Capone,
Mm-hmm.
yep.
It's
Yeah, I saw
really,
his
really
chambers
insane.
there.
it's beautiful.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Yes.
But he also said that he could persuade them, all the
Yeah.
guards, and that's why he was sent to Al Capone. Because all the guards would be like giving him freebies and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, geez, if I could be that sweet talking.
Right.
I actually got a lot of history from Eastern State.
Mhm.
It was built in 1829 and it was open until 1971. They actually spent a lot of money building all these cells, and they kept like building. I read at some point they were actually going to close down the prison because it was just failing. Like just wants to bark.
Yeah.
I found a lot of things that were interesting. Eastern State was apparently the most famous and expensive prison, which that is true. They had a lot of money, like a lot.
It was
To
also
build
the
it.
first of its kind, right?
Mhm.
Penitentiary is actually, that word is based on their idea of that prisoners would find penitence there.
Mm-hmm. You know what was interesting? I was just looking because around the same time, like a little bit after yours, was when they were revamping Alcatraz. So at the same time, they were trying to do 2 penitentiaries.
Yeah, they very much
like-
model a one after Eastern State because it was definitely the first of its kind.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Like the dates are going together pretty well.
Yeah.
So it was just interesting. I was looking at your numbers.
Well, based on the dates, the one thing that will not be tied to Eastern State Penitentiary, because he comes up in everything we wind up at some point. He's considered the first serial killer in history. He was actually housed in a prison here in Philadelphia, but it wasn't. He was already dead by the time they got to there.
Yeah.
So the one thing we will not have popping up in Eastern State's history is H.H. Holmes.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
For what?
or in Alcatraz's history.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it was the first prison to use solitary confinement.
That was the branch off and they did for this one. It was like 19 something or other. If you looked at the ours.
It had a lot of pain and abuse in the prison.
Now, did most of its inmates, did it come mostly from Philadelphia, or were they all shipped from everywhere to state penitentiary? That was the first confinement.
Yeah, I'm not sure entirely.
If it was all Philadelphia inmates, or, like how Alcatraz had worldwide
Mhm.
inmates. I wonder how many inmates were originally from Philly here,
True.
And how much work, I'll keep going. I keep having questions. I keep questioning everybody.
You're fine. It had 42 years of suicide, madness, disease, murder, and punishment.
Hmm.
They didn't actually people death there, did they?
I don't think
They had death row, but I remember reading somewhere that they didn't actually do it there, from what I understand.
Oh,
I
that's
think
interesting.
everybody just eventually died off because they eventually put everybody in solitary.
Yeah,
And
each
then-
cell has that, they call it the eye of God, and it's actually, there's no window there. It's the outside wall, so they were exposed to the elements as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, there were no glass in the windows.
Right. That was
That's
So
their
when it was
theory.
hot, when it was hot,
Oh my
And
god.
when it was hot, it was hot. When it was
Snowed.
cold, it was cold.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I know, they had but they had more things than Alcatraz did, because they had sports that they could play
Oh,
there.
Uh-huh.
They
They had
had-
a baseball mound
Exactly.
in the
I think
the
they
common
still
room.
have it
Yeah.
out there. Mm-hmm. So they did have luxury on that end. I think isn't Al
Which that
Capone?
is
Did he
good.
go from there to Alcatraz?
I believe so.
I feel like that was his journey. So he was here first because they still have his cell.
But that's where his descent into madness went. Because there aren't there reports of him being in a cell screaming at something.
Well, I think that could have been contributed to the syphilis.
Absolutely, but I mean, it's
Mhm.
still one of the things because it was after the St. Valentine's Day massacre, and people come to the conclusion that I was one of the victims of the St. Valentine's massacre that was actually haunting him for that action.
Yeah, I read that.
I think he was only in prison there for a year, though.
Yeah.
That was like his first, because he was going from Jersey, and he was doing something in Jersey, and when he was going way back to Chicago, he had to stop here.
Mhm.
And I believe he got caught with a gun.
Mhm.
And they found out who it was and his name, and they just put it on him.
I just want to read this comment real fast because he has to go. And I'm going to go through. We have a whole bunch of people that I want to point out. But Chris Sarney says, "Dead Dollies, you're all fucking awesome. Looking forward to seeing you at New Jersey HorrorCon in September.
Oh.
Kick-ass show as always. Love famous haunted places. Gotta go."
Okay.
Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah. Thanks.
And we will see you there.
And then, Carrie, if you could hold your topic for a second, would you do the honor of holding up any copy of the book?
Yeah.
So what we have on our table every week is one of our sponsors has given us a bunch of copies of the books he wrote with his daughter. They're called Zombies vs. Robots. There are 4 books in the series. Joe is actually in the show watching tonight.
Hi,
So,
Joe.
let me give him-
Hi, Joe.
We also have. I'm not gonna butcher last names, so I'm just gonna go by first names. This one I do know, so this one I can go over. We have Rich Longo, who is one of the head promoters from New Jersey HorrorCon.
Hi, Rich.
We're all like unity
Yes,
girls.
Sean Gilbert, who's been a friend of mine since I was 14 years
Hi, Sean.
old. I'm going to say Maria from England because I can't pronounce your last name,
I'm Maria.
but Maria is back.
Hello, Governor.
Yeah.
Amy Hicks, who runs a horror group that I just posted to, is here.
Wonderful. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Amy.
Jay Taunt, who we haven't seen in a while, but Jay is back.
Oh, hi, Jay.
Hi.
And Adela Muskew is here. And Jay says, "Hi, girls. Ask me something, anything." We'll get to that later. We're gonna have
We're working on it.
we're gonna have
That's in
trivia.
our next thing.
We're gonna have our weekly trivia contest at the end of the show. So make sure you stick around for that.
I totally
Yes.
lost last week.
And then we have Danielle Smith who says hi, Kitty,
Hi,
from
Danielle.
Hawaii. Woohoo!
Yes.
I think this is-
hearing about us. Thank
Oh.
you.
I think this is the
How
first
do you
time.
say it? How do you say hello in Hawaii?
I think this.
Aloha.
Aloha.
And then I say goodbye.
Aloha.
Aha! Yay! First question.
I miss you, Danny.
Roberta brings us back. What I wanted to point out, because we have a viewer from Hawaii, this is the first time ever that we've had someone watching from Hawaii. So that's a big thing.
Look at that, making history here.
Yay!
Cheers to that.
And Maria says, "Hey ladies, haha, don't worry, nobody in the history of anybody has ever been able to pronounce it." That's about her last name.
So you butchered it then.
Yeah, that works.
No, I said Maria.
Yeah,
Maria from England.
that's funny.
So I'm sorry. I wanted to make sure we acknowledged our viewers and got some of the comments in. Please resume. I didn't mean to interrupt.
You're fine. In 1829, October 25th, the first inmate was brought to the prison. His name is Charles Williams.
18 or 19?
It's 1829.
1829.
It was open then?
Yes.
Oh, so maybe
That's
18
when it
Coleman
first opened.
could
That's
have
when
been.
it first
But
opened.
wasn't he like in the Chicago area?
Yeah, but here.
He was imprisoned, and eventually he was the last person to be executed at that prison.
All I know is he was the first. He was the first serial killer to be killed.
Holmes.
Yeah.
He is
And-
buried in a cemetery not far from here.
Yes, I've heard that.
That's creepy.
We should go there.
Yeah.
We can do that. Make sure one of you has your phone so we can do live. Which is great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That would be great.
So Charles Williams.
He was a burglar. He stole a $20 watch, one $3 gold seal, a gold keychain, and he was sentenced to 2 years. Now, at the time when they opened this prison, I read that they only sentenced for 2 years at max, and that was it. Until solitary opened.
Yeah, I guess they were scared for the prisoners. I guess, right?
Yeah.
You know, so if you have too many prisoners at one time, they're easily to take out. And you couldn't really do what you did on Alcatraz in the center of Philadelphia. You know, you can't have, guns going off shooting at them, like, because the bullets would fly into, like, the neighborhood. So you couldn't really do that,
But at the same time, they had a humongous wall that is around the entire prison.
Exactly. But I
But-
still feel like
yeah.
it would ricochet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They opened solitary by the 20th century. That's when they got the idea of solitary confinement.
Now, was it as wicked as, like, Alcatraz's thing? Like, what would it look like if you were in solitary confinement?
Almost the same thing. They would
Okay.
stick somebody in the prison with no lights. They would just feed them bread and water.
And didn't, because I know when you're in the hole in Alcatraz, like, they basically literally had a hole in the ground where you went to the bathroom. So did they do that for this one? Or did they give them actually a bathroom?
That I'm not sure,
Okay.
but I would assume they did not have a bathroom.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
I know that most prisons back in the day,
Yeah, they didn't have plumbing.
they were there for punishment. They weren't
So they're-
about
Yeah.
rehabilitation.
Right.
So if you got thrown in the hole, I mean, a lot of places they didn't even give you your clothing. You
Right.
were
But Eastern
stripped down and
State was that they were revolutionary because that was they were the first of its kind to believe that a prisoner could be rehabilitated.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. It was more on how can we transform him to something good for the society.
Penitentiary comes from like I said earlier, penitence. Like you can make amends and move forward and be a productive member of society.
I guess that's why they moved out Capone. They didn't think he could
Yeah, I
make
don't think
amends.
that was ever gonna happen.
They said, "Oh, this guy
Yeah.
not gonna work out for us. Ship him out there."
Yes.
Poor guy. If only he could just figure it out. Just figure out why am I so bad?
He wasn't born that way.
I know. And again, that's the problem. A lot of people who have turned into like, like bad people, whatever, had a really bad childhood.
Yeah.
So it always progresses up, So
Mhm.
I heard you say, "Ooh, what's up?"
Amy Hicks says, I love this combo.
Aw,
So
thanks.
apparently we picked a good topic tonight.
Awesome.
Oh, I thought you meant us girls. No. Just kidding. My bad.
Well, I'm gonna preview something just by calling you all a name.
Okay.
You're all a bunch of harlots.
Yep.
Joe says most prisoners today wind up reoffending for minor screw-ups.
Mhm.
I was a prison psychologist for about 1.5 years in Delaware.
Where at in
Wow.
Delaware? I'm from Delaware.
Joe, are you able to say where you were at, or is that like confidential?
So I know,
We have 2 prisons in
Okay.
Delaware. So.
because I know they said that because one of my exes was in prison, and he was saying if you put your name on the wall, you're
Yes, you
bound
were
to come
saying
back.
Last week, right? Yes.
Mhm. And I feel like it's true.
Well, so
it
you
does.
were mentioning that last week. You know why? You put your name on the wall, and then somebody wants to shorten their time, so they're like, "Yeah, this motherfucker, I know who did that," and they
Yeah.
got to give
He
up a name.
totally had his girlfriend bringing the hair from
Right. But I think it's also a psychologist thing. Like
Yeah.
if you like, well, I'm bad now, I can't get. You know what I'm saying? Like it goes into your brain to come back.
It's a repetitive cycle.
I think there's comfortability in being institutionalized compared to the outside world as well.
hmm
You know,
If you don't
You're
have anything
fed in
outside
your
to go
house.
forward to,
Right,
then
but
why
you have
would
to
you wanna
work
go back?
for it outside? It's given to you.
yeah.
You know?
Like again, that's why it's different in this prison systems nowadays. It's
Yeah,
because
right.
a lot of
Nowadays-
things are given to.
Yeah,
They have
nowadays they can
rights
do
now.
school
Oh, yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good to keep them, learning, and
Yeah.
they might not have ever been able to get through the school,
Yeah.
So to give them education, but the hardest
That's
thing
a
is
plus.
you give them education, but then now they have a record, so then they can't really use the education
Right.
as much as they could if they didn't have a record. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, because I mean, especially like a lot of them, they can't work around children. They can't,
Yeah.
there's a whole list of things. So you're basically putting them in a dead end job again. And then they're not making enough money, so they have to go out and do something else. And then it's gonna back, so it's like it is a cycle. It's just
Yeah.
constant jumping.
Joe says he was a psychologist at Howard R. Young Correctional Facility in
Okay.
Wilmington.
Yes.
And
Part of that
Melissa-
is Gander Hill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you refer to that as the end?
You know, I'm not sure. I've never been.
Oh, okay.
So.
And Melissa Hauser just stopped in.
Hi, Melissa.
Melissa's a very good friend of ours. She's always in the show, and she comes out to a lot of our events.
That's
Um,
awesome.
She is Deadhead's daughter,
Oh,
Pete's daughter. So
Pete's daughter. Okay. I have to meet Pete too.
you'll eventually meet Pete.
Oh.
I said okay.
New Jersey Heart Club.
Whatever. This random guy Pete, it's his daughter. But anyway, yes.
So what about the actual like haunted stuff about?
Well, I think she
I
was
was
into that.
getting to that.
We just kept going on the
Yeah,
history.
I was getting to that.
So what makes it haunted? Like what
So
Okay.
I want to read a quote first because
it would make sense. then.
something caught my interest in this quote. Charles Dickens visited in 1842. He quoted, "The system is strict and hopeful, solitary. I believe it's in effect to be cruel and wrong." So, in my opinion, I'm guessing he thought the whole prison stuff was just like really cruel and he didn't like it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. I mean, well, at that time, because it's just there to basically punish them. So,
Yeah.
if
I see
And a lot of
as
them,
this though.
But also, like, a lot of these guys aren't told, like, no. You know what I'm saying? A lot of prisoners. So it's like, oh, now you're going to actually have to force, you know, it's difficult.
I see it as this though. You're going to prison for a reason.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you could be punished if you've done like something super, super, super bad,
Mm-hmm.
but then I don't know. I see it in different ways. Like if you're going for like just burgling or something, you could go in solitary. I think you have to
Murder.
do something. Yeah, like something
But then
super,
again,
super bad.
You said that they're only in there for 2 years anyway. So you just have to suffer
Until
through it.
solitary started.
Right. So I feel like in the beginning now, you just had to suffer through 2 years, you're back out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Well, I know in
whatever.
modern prisons, like if you're in an altercation, you go into solitary
mm-hmm.
or protected custody.
Protective custody.
Which
And a
is
lot of times you go straight to jail first, not prison. So,
no, I'm talking about when you're in.
or when you get convicted. And
Once you've already been convicted and you're
Okay.
in there, you get into a fight, you get into like something like that,
then
have
you
an
go in
argument
solitary.
with a guard or whatever. That's when you end up in solitary.
Well, most of the time they only keep you in there for 3 days. Because for some reason my ex likes to get in trouble. But he was saying how he was in solitary for like 3 days and then they released him again. It's weird. It was times have changed. And for me, I just still feel like they should help them as best as they can, you know. But there's just some people who don't want help.
Yeah.
Maria says places that contain that much negative energy feel off when you walk in immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm a serious empath, and certain places make me feel instantly uncomfortable when I walk in. They just feel wrong.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then Topher Lawrence says, "Oh my God, it's Kitty."
I we found her.
No, it's not. I swear it's not Kitty.
This is her sister.
It's my doppelganger.
Right.
The real Kitty is in Jay's trunk.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Funny. So which cell block should we not be going to? Or is it all of them?
Yeah.
Oh.
All of
I
them.
don't know. When I went there, I got some type of negative energy. Like I was saying, I got the chills in that place.
It's a very intimidating place from outside, you know.
Yeah.
It's so
You
big.
get the feelings of
Yeah.
you're going into something creepy,
Yeah.
and then you get there and you actually get chills.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I felt like there was like sometimes like something was like around
Just
me,
having it,
behind
like-
me.
I feel like the cement and all that, you know, like I feel like if it was different, like Al Capone's, you know, is all like decorative his cell.
Yes.
That feels different than when you walk into like a stone cold concrete
Uh-huh.
corridor,
Yeah.
you know?
And then like it's metal like that
Mhm.
separates the
Mhm.
the second floor from the bottom in each cell block. It's very cold
Yeah.
to begin with. Yeah.
I found this interesting.
Mhm.
Cell Block 15 opened 1959.
Mhm.
It was the last one they built, and it was the only one with electric doors.
Wow.
So only one corridor had the electric door. And they had to walk down the other one. You know why they do that though, right? The guard has to go and open every single door.
Yeah.
How are you
Down
going
near
to keep
that?
track of all the ones who
Get
just
off.
came out?
Right. But then the guard is put in a position where he has to go and literally open every door.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So
So
they're electric. You can stay behind
Exactly.
the door. Yeah.
and open them
absolutely.
all up because and then also you don't know which prisoner's going to try and ram through.
Right.
Yep.
So that makes a whole lot more sense to do electrical.
Yeah.
You know, just because of that whole, chaos. You just don't want to get too close to, especially when you're opening the door. Like, oh yeah, this would be quite fun.
Or
Makes
if you're
sense.
Michael Myers, you can just like break your chains, strangle all the guards, and then
Right.
Yeah.
How that played out in that one movie.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Maria says, like Auschwitz, the second you walk into that place, your heart sinks. It feels like something bad has happened. And Jay Taunt says, I like creepy.
Yeah. Me too.
I love creepy.
I also found this. Inmate Clara and her inmate William Russell
Mhm.
dug a 15 feet down and a 97 feet under the courtyard and a 15 feet up to Paramount Ave and 22nd Street to Freedom in cell block 68. They completed it by April 3rd of 1945. They escaped with 10 others.
So they actually
That's a
tunneled.
big hole!
So they
they
Stalag
tunneled under
13, the
wall.
prison.
Huh?
Yeah.
They have you ever remember Hogan's Heroes?
Yes.
They were in Stalag 13 and they were digging the tunnels so they could get out in and out. So they Stalag 13 east in the state penitentiary.
Okay, but
went
I'm
up
still
22nd
trying to
Street.
figure out where the heck were the guards when they're digging this humongous. It means that they
Haven't you
weren't-
ever seen Shawshank Redemption?
Yes, I like that.
You dig a little bit, you fill your pockets, you go out in the courtyard and you shake it out.
I understand, but I'm just saying, like, it takes time to dig, though. Where were the guards at the point, though? Because most of them, they don't stay in, like in the cells. They're always
Well,
go to work.
at nighttime,
Yeah, you have to do it overnight.
I'm sure they did it in shifts. I'm sure they didn't
Yeah.
do it all at one time.
And how they hid the hole.
The post in there? Like, you
The
get in
hole is actually right next to where the toilet is. You go on the regular tour,
Mhm.
and that particular cell just happens to be at the very end of the hall by the door that goes to the outside.
Yeah.
So, like, it's like the very last cell of that cell block,
Mhm.
right by the door.
Yep.
So I highly
Now
doubt.
wait, how can 10 people have gone in? There wasn't 10 people in that cell. If they all were on lockdown.
I think they,
are
like, communicated and said this is
Yeah,
what's going to happen.
they
And they all
had
kind
to.
of,
it would have to have not been like it can't have been at nighttime because they would all have been locked into their own cells.
right.
It had to been like during like extracurricular.
Yeah, like yard
Activities.
time, something
Or-
like that.
They ended up escaping during breakfast time.
Nice.
Okay.
So everybody was eating. Hey, it's
Yeah.
time to go escape.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Good things to know though. One thing that would not have happened in Alcatraz.
Yeah, man.
They would have got
Yeah,
caught.
you got right up to that water and go fishing.
Yeah.
Mike Silk says, just stopping in to say hi and show support.
Hi,
Hi,
Mike.
Thanks for showing support. All right. Anything else you wanted to add?
I got a whole page.
Well, you got to kind of condense because
So
we
you
still
want us
have,
to
we
do
have
that for the side?
No,
Okay.
it definitely was considered to be the most haunted place. It was featured on Ghost Adventures,
Mhm.
Ghost Hunters, and something called MTV Fear.
Oh, yes.
Then when it's
Yes.
the horror, like the
Mhm.
horror places.
Yeah.
That I actually never heard of watching MTV my whole life.
You've never seen MTV? Oh, we got to binge watch that if
Yes,
it's on demand.
absolutely. It's great.
No.
They have a point of view camera and they walk through, so like the fear is real because it's just
Oh,
dark.
wow.
Like, it's great. Yeah.
Mhm. It's fine.
And we can recreate one of the things if you're willing to volunteer.
Which you'll have to tell me about that.
They had a plexiglass coffin that they put somebody in and put all the spiders.
Oh!
my.
Oh my gosh! So I just gotta say hi to my cousin. Hi, Marissa. Thanks for stopping in. And I will never do anything with spiders. I hate spiders so freaking much. Spiders are my worst fear. I used to hate clowns, and he got me used to that. Well, spiders, nope, not happening.
I'll get you a stop. I'll get you a stop being afraid of spiders. Maria says feels like home.
Oh my gosh! Cell block 12 was known for echoing, voicing, crackles. Cell block 6 was known for shadow figures darting along the walls. Cell block 4 was known for vision shadow faces and footsteps, wobbling, whispering.
Mhm. Wow. Crazy.
So
It's a lot.
I don't know what I would do if I like entered a actual cell block and I heard something like that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I think I'm shitting myself.
Yeah,
You probably-
really, yeah.
You'd probably do what I did when I was at Fort Mifflin and saw a shadow and then
Oh,
felt a
I'd
burning
love to go
sensation
there.
in my leg and
Yeah.
said, "Okay, we're getting the fuck out of here."
Yeah, I would.
right?
I would definitely do something like that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I found another quote. It's from Ben Bookman. He says, "This one's funny. It's a lot harder to believe than it is to find a spectator. He claims that Eastern State was not plotted; that they just built an attraction."
Interesting.
That one got me because like I visited that place. Like that place is haunted.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Okay.
Finally done. I'm finally done.
All right, we're gonna jump over to Kitty. Let's hear yours.
So I chose to do Pennhurst State School, which is in Spring City, Pennsylvania. It's just a county.
Okay.
And I love Pennhurst. I've been there a few times. And it's one of those places you walk into and you feel the tragedy that happened there. Absolutely. So I briefly wanted to go over the history to understand why it's haunted. And they say it's so haunted that Pennhurst has its own paranormal association.
Wow.
Yes. There's like 18 buildings on the property. It's
So that's
huge.
one of the places I've never been to, but I definitely do
Yeah,
want
Yeah,
to
I've
go
never
there.
been there.
It's
I
absolutely
definitely do want to go there.
I'm a person where I love being scared and haunted attractions, but this place, it's almost disrespectful because of the mistreatment that happened there. That to kind of scares and laughs because this place was awful. It actually became how did I word this? The most striking example of maltreatment that was characteristic of such places like mental asylums. Though this was not considered an asylum at the time, it was a state school and hospital that housed mentally and physically disabled people.
Okay.
So it was not meant, originally, the intent was good.
Okay.
But when it opened in 1908, due to pressure, it ended up housing everyone who was unwanted. So there were people, I mean, literally people who were, had, mental instabilities that are fully functioning in today's society went there.
Right.
You're unwanted immigrants, but criminals were housed with people who had cerebral palsy.
No, my goodness.
Yeah. So it opens and within a couple years becomes severely overcrowded.
Wow.
Yes, and immediately. And by the 1960s, Pennhurst housed 900 more patients than it was equipped to, with 9 doctors on staff and 11 teachers, none of which were trained to deal with special needs patients. So, yeah. So to put it in perspective with the overcrowding, the Commission for the Care of Feeble-Minded People broke it down into this. You were either classified as an imbecile, insane, and then physically either epileptic or healthy. How is that even a wide variety of being classified? So all these people were just shoved in there. And the thing about Pennhurst, it's fully self-functioning. There was no interaction from the outside world. They had their own power plant. They policed their own grounds. They grew their own food. There's a railway that connects to the property, so anything they needed from the outside was brought in. So no one really, from the outside, interacted. So no one could really see the mistreatment and the abuse that was going on. So it went on for a long time.
Wow.
So basically, they didn't go to the hospitals. They went there to, what were they trying to do with this?
You were an unwanted person. So back then, if you were considered disabled mentally or physically,
Mm-hmm.
the actual quote from the Commission for the Care of the Feeble-Minded was this, and this is quoted: "You were unfit for citizenship, and you posed a menace to the peace." So if you had something as simple as cerebral palsy, you were unfit to be a regular citizen.
Okay, but what I don't understand is why did the mothers agree to that?
Because back in these times, something as simple as
So-
reading too many books would get you in. There's a whole list from Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum that has like a list of reasons to be admitted. And like if you lost your husband in the war, you just back then there wasn't an understanding of like mental illness and how to properly take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone with cerebral palsy, for example, is mentally bitter,
Mhm.
but
You could function.
right, the officials were telling you, the medical professionals were telling you that you weren't fit to be in the regular world. So it's not like the mother's like, oh, let me just.
Now, when you get admitted, does it have to be someone admits you, or can you? I don't know why you want to, but would commit yourself? Or would somebody push you there?
Somebody would push it back. And with the case of Pennhurst, a lot of patients started as small children, babies even.
Wow,
if you had like
How
a
can you
physical,
identify a baby?
if you had a physical disability,
Okay.
If you were deaf, if you were blind,
exactly.
like
So they had all of them there.
if you were a
Yes.
people, I'm not on the camera, so people aren't going to see my air quotes. If you were a burden to your family or a
Yes.
burden to society, they would institutionalize you
Yeah, but why would they have prisoners there?
because
Yeah.
they could. Like, oh, well, we need to put them somewhere.
Mhm.
Well, they're
Or
not.
did they have special needs? The prisoners?
No, the thing is, the overcrowding and the pressure was that not only people who actually needed that medical care, it was immigrants. If you were an immigrant, you were thrown there. That's where society pushed you. Criminally insane. But at the same time, if you were orphaned, let's say back then in 1908, your parents died of war. You have, or your father died in war, now your mother can't take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
She would take you to a place like that because she
Wow.
couldn't care for you, thinking that because it's a state-run facility, you would get the best care.
Right.
But that's not.
So I
And
guess
I don't know if it came up in your research, but a lot of those institutions,
Yes.
when you reached puberty, they sterilized you. They gave you a hysterectomy, or they gave you
Yeah.
like vasectomy, or completely removed your testicles
Oh my gosh.
because
they don't
you
want
were not
another
fit.
one to be-
Like I'm going to use the R word. I'm going to say, like, if you were retarded, it's not like today where people can have a normal, functioning, healthy
Right.
life.
Mhm.
Back then, it was, oh, we can't let them breed
Right.
because
Oh, wow.
like there was no understanding that like two people with Down syndrome
Mhm.
can have a normal child.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Whereas back then, it was automatically assumed, oh, like they have a disability, which means, like, say for example, deaf.
Mhm.
Person's deaf, so their children are going to be born deaf. Therefore, we can't let them have children,
Right.
and they would sterilize you
Mm.
so that you never could breed.
Wow.
So did any of their families come to visit them there?
In most cases, no, because they were unwanted, and it was kind of stigmatized, kind of like a lot of mental health issues are today. There's a
Mhm.
stigma attached. So you have this child or family member, and they're unwanted, and society's telling you these people don't belong out here. So it's kind of like the dirty secret. They were swept away under the rug, where they didn't have to be out in the open.
So I guess there's no way of getting yourself out of this. You just died there.
A lot, yeah. But there were a lot of suicides at Pennhurst, and accidents. But most of the accidents on record are patients killing other patients.
They went insane.
Real quick, Maria just pointed something out along the whole line of people who were like institutionalized, unwed mothers
Yes.
who had children.
Mm-hmm.
Like their families would talk them into like, like say this young girl gets pregnant, she's not married.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like back then, that was like, you know, unheard of. You couldn't marry because you like society just looked at you differently. So you could take the child and get rid of it.
Yeah.
And it would be sent off to these institutions and things.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with the child.
It didn't matter.
It was born a sin.
And that's how they viewed it. Absolutely. So the big thing that kind of brought everyone's focus to Pennhurst was in 1968, what is now that we know as NBC. A reporter named Bill Baldini, Freedom of the Press. They couldn't tell him, no, you can't come in here and film. So he went in there and filmed. And I think it was under like the ruse that like you're not going to be exposed. He's just in there to document, you know, mental health institutions and stuff. But he ended up exposing them and what was going on. And it became known as, it's a documentary, you can look it up. It's called Suffer the Little Children. He put it into 5-minute segments each night and the world was faced with fully grown adults with their hands and feet strapped in adult-sized cribs. You know,
That's insane.
yes. People who had, patients who had been dropped off as children who were never shown attention, worked with, that their muscles had literally atrophied. So he filmed adults on the floor and their legs were literally locked up because they had never been shown how to walk and they were left there. And they were in adult diapers in their own filth, unable to move. You know, and they're on the cold, dirty floors, rocking, twitching. And one of the quotes that gives me chills is he asked one of the patients that was sitting alone, he said, if you could have anything in the world, what is the one thing, if you could have anything, what would you want? And he said, to get out of Pennhurst. But at the same time, he also had a doctor. There's a doctor that is overheard in Several Little Children stating that there was a patient who was a bully, and he's consulting other doctors. And he actually, now this is just me paraphrasing, it's not an exact quote. He asked another doctor, what is the most painful thing that I can inject this patient with? Because he wanted to literally inflict pain. And yes, this patient was a bully, but this patient had mental disabilities and needed to be worked with. You know?
If you've seen American Horror Story Asylum,
Yeah.
a lot of what goes on in that series is based on things that happened at Pennhurst. There was a lot of there were doctors who experimented on these patients and everything. That's part of why it got shut down.
Yeah.
Is these were nobody's people. They were
They were the unwanted.
Pennhurst property, and they conducted medical experimentation and all kinds of other
They were
stuff.
like their guinea pigs.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Couple quick comments. So Maria, it's gonna be 2 from Maria, and then I'll read 1 from Mike. Maria said, "I once done a prison lock-in. I shat my kegs through the whole thing. I was a police cadet, and we done it to raise money for charity. It was an abandoned prison, and we were there till morning with nothing but a diary."
Wow.
Wow.
And then her second comment was, she said, "Asylums bubble a rage in me like no other.
Yeah, me too.
I suffer with my mental health, and have had inpatients and outpatients help since I was 12. To think that once upon a time people would have locked me away and ate the key is gross."
Yeah.
And then Mike Silk says, "Had a spirit walk through me once while we were doing a paranormal investigation."
Whoa.
And then the last one is kind of, well, it's for everybody, but kind of for Carrie. Mal is here.
Stranger danger.
Remember him?
Stranger danger.
And he said, and I'm gonna assume he missed go. And you had to go through hell to get yourself out of those places.
But yeah, most didn't get out though.
I wonder if any of them tried to get run away.
I'm sure there was. I couldn't find any documented cases on this. But the thing with Pennhurst is they didn't document things like this because they were so fully functioning and outside of society, like why would they? Plus, there were so many suicides and deaths that couldn't be explained that, of course, they were trying to protect themselves by not documenting these things. Now, like I said in the beginning, it revolutionized human rights movement and how we treat mentally and physically handicapped adults. But the thing that bothers me the most about Pennhurst is suffering little children. They were exposed in 1968. They did not close their doors until 1987. And there were a lot of legal cases brought up against them. And in 1983, 9 employees were indicted on patient abuse. And they were slapping patients, punching patients.
Oh my God.
Patients who were in wheelchairs that couldn't walk. But one of the main things, one of the main atrocities were they were arranging to have patients fight other patients for their amusement.
That's ridiculous.
So to imagine the horror that occurred in this place, it's no wonder that it's haunted. And there's
It's like the
negative
same
feelings.
cruelty that they do when they have like, dogs fighting dogs,
Right.
chicken fight chicken. They're doing it with humans.
Yes. Absolutely.
It's ridiculous. And the weird thing is how, I guess because it was so long ago, that's the reason why they still keep the doors open. Because now it would just
Well, they were
completely
state funded, so like the state just, but they didn't have the money, they didn't have the staff. I don't believe every staff member was a bad person by any means, but how can one person make a difference when there's all of that going on?
And I'm sure they had to sign a contract saying like I won't say anything. You know, like the patient confidentiality.
Yeah.
Trying to hide behind that.
So I will mention that when this place finally shut down, most of the patients went on to become fully self-functioning.
Well, how was it? After all that horror that they inflicted on them, where the heck did they put these patients to?
They put them in like, I guess the sense would be like a halfway house for people with disabilities that has like someone where they have a caregiver who lives there with them, but they're encouraged to be independent.
But not if you were there since you were a child. How they gotta be independent?
Right. It took a lot of work. But I mean, it's like I'm glad these people found good homes and became, somewhat independent. And there's actually a group of people, and they call themselves Pennhurst survivors. A lot of these people are still alive today. So when they opened the haunted attraction at Pennhurst, there was a lot of controversy because a lot of people, especially the survivors, like this is disrespectful. Because we lived this and the hell that was there, and they almost felt like they were making fun of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but the tagline that Pennhurst Paranormal Association used is they lived here, they died here, and they're still here. So, to go on to there is the Ghost Adventures crew also investigated there. But the reports are all over the place. There are shadow figures. There is moaning. There is people have been shoved, scratched, touched. But some of the EVPs that have been caught there break my heart. They have been. There's I'll kill you. We're upset.
Wow.
Why are you here? And there is there's a male voice that repeatedly has been caught that says, I'm scared. How heartbreaking is that? But one of the most that I thought was profound is they had a team of first responders go there to respond to an actual call, and all 3 of them saw a woman shadow figure, and they were confused. They wanted to help that person and didn't realize it's not an actual person.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
And it's a police officer, a firefighter, and an EMT. They why would they make that up? These people are professionals. Right. So it's sad. It's definitely sad.
Again, the voices they're hearing, or whatever, it's coming from like a kid mentality because they weren't ever grown up. So it's like they're still trying to understand what happened.
Yeah.
Like why, and I'm just I can't. I'm glad that these poor people like didn't. Sometimes it'd be hard for them if they knew what a normal life was going to be
Right.
like, and then saying, "Why couldn't I have that?" You know, like.
Well, apparently this conversation is causing some reactions because Maria says, "Okay, I just turned the lights on." So,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, but that's insane.
all right, so we're gonna have to wrap up this section of the show.
Yeah, we do have our trivia.
But first, I've got to get to some stuff with sponsors. Got some announcements to make. So, Bloodshed Farms is currently looking for haunt actors. So, if you are interested in being employed by New Jersey's scariest haunt, then you want to visit www.bloodshedfarms.com and click on the employment section and fill out an online app. I know they'll be having auditions coming up soon. So that was something they asked us if we could pass that along.
You should do it.
Oh yeah.
Then we've got a couple things that New Jersey Horror Con. They've still got vendor registration. Vendor tables are not sold out. They have filmmaker tables. They have advanced ticket sales going on. They have advanced photo ops going on. Let's see. Advanced online ticket sales end Friday, August 31st. Trust me, folks, you want to get your tickets as soon as possible because this could be big.
Mhm.
And you
What's the
don't
date?
want September 21st, 22nd, 23rd.
There we go.
So the official announcement as of 9 hours ago, vendor tables are 75% sold out.
Oh wow.
And booth spaces are 75% sold out. So you want to make sure if you're looking to get a table, you get it soon. You can also, they've opened up registration for the cosplay contest. So if you're looking to do cosplay there, you want to sign up. Let's see. Okay, so they had some issues. They announced that Bam Margera was going to be a guest there.
Okay.
And then he wasn't going to be a guest there, but they worked it out. And Bam will be there Saturday only. So he will only be there on the 22nd. But he is appearing as a guest. So that is our stuff for this week for New Jersey Horror Con. And let me see what else. All right, so Zombies vs. Robots in Jersey Horror Con, Bloodshed Farms, and we don't really need, because we're tight on time, we don't really need to talk about Nightmare Paintball this week.
Okay.
But the only thing I will say is we got a bunch of our stuff up there last weekend.
Mhm.
We are going up there this weekend to start building.
Okay.
Look for us at the Pink Shed. Oh, I'll explain that story.
Okay.
Sounds like bad code for vagina.
Yeah.
And no, it's not bad. It's not bad code for vagina.
Okay.
Kitty, do you know somebody named Ma Yo?
Yes.
She says he or she says hi,
He.
Kitty. He says hi,
His
Kitty.
name is Yo.
It's actually that is a different profile because he gets blocked often.
Oh.
So hi Cliff.
Oh, his name Cliff. That's a whole lot better than Yo.
No.
Sorry. I was like Yo.
Yo.
Why is your mother calling you that? Okay.
So for you,
Because she couldn't remember the name. She goes, Yo. That's why she called you Yo.
Oh my god.
Sorry, that's me.
So we're gonna skip over movie reviews this week because we're getting tight on time.
I didn't have
Before
one.
you
so we're good.
start with your trivia questions, I only have 3.
Okay.
Well, wait. Let's let everybody know what we're gonna do.
Yo.
For those who are still in the show, the ladies at the table are gonna do trivia.
Mm-hmm.
It will be horror trivia.
Mm-hmm.
What we'll do is we'll keep a running count. When they ask a question,
I will
reply on the screen in a comment with your answer. The first person with the correct answer will get a point. At the end, we're going to add up all the points, and you will win a prize.
Yes.
So,
All right. You said go.
Go.
He said go!
Janet, go!
Okay, first one.
Okay. This is more likely a very easy one. Halloween H2O features a cast member from Psycho. Who is it?
So Halloween H2O features a cast member from Psycho. Who is it?
I know.
We all know you know.
This is where you put your answer in. You know, text it on in there.
Fast, fast, fast.
You gotta be fast, man.
Yes.
Beat my
Shane
ass.
was our
week.
last winner last week. Hopefully Shane's back on again. That'd be great.
Yeah.
All right, so.
Huh?
So we have one answer of Tony Perkins.
Wrong.
Wrong. Tony Burton's name. Anybody else? Sometime, but what are we timing it?
10 seconds.
Anybody else?
Come on, guys, it's easy.
No, that one is
Wrong.
wrong. That one is wrong also.
No, but you're
Thomas.
close. And you are definitely close.
All right, we're going to have to.
You got it.
There
Who
we
did?
go.
All right, so
Thomas
who's keeping
Tyler.
score?
Oh, Tom.
Okay, 1 point for Thomas.
Tom, you
The
got it,
correct
dude.
answer was Janet Lee, Jamie Lee Curtis's mother.
Nice. All right.
All right, get ready for the next question. Who has a question?
I do. The next question, I'm going to say a quote. You have to tell me the film. The dead are not quiet in Hill House. The dead are not quiet in Hill House. What's the film?
Okay, for 1 point, the question is, the dead are not quiet in Hill House.
Anybody know? Why am I so hard? Anything happen there?
Matt Owen says the Hills Have Eyes. Hills Have Eyes too.
No.
Incorrect.
Haunting.
The Haunting. Yes, you said The Haunting.
Alright.
All right, so Maria gets a point.
You got it.
I got another one.
All right then.
What is the name of the motel in Psycho?
Oh, I know that one.
Oh, come on.
What is
girl.
the name of the motel in Psycho?
For 1 point, what is the name of the hotel in Psycho?
Motel.
Yes, Thomas.
Tom
Got
it. Woo!
Thomas
Tom
was first
got
with it.
it.
Thomas gets
You're
a point.
on a roll.
Bates Motel. You are right, sir.
All right. The next quote, I need to have the film. If I wanted to listen to an asshole, I'd fart. If I wanted to listen to an asshole, I'd fart. What is the film? Anybody have one?
They all might be coming in late, like last
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to
Because that's
find
not
your
showing up.
answers. Right. Here goes one.
Yeah, see, I just got it and I was like, late.
All right, so the movie quote is: if I wanted to listen to an asshole, I'd fart. We need the title of the film.
The film was in 2003. That helps.
Maria says Devil's Rejects.
No.
Incorrect.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna put 10 seconds on this.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The answer was House of a Thousand Corpses.
Maria, you were so close.
I know.
So close, but no cigar.
Exactly. All right.
I got
here you go,
another
Carrie.
one.
Go ahead.
What is the name of the serial killer at the start of Child's Play?
What is the
Ooh.
name of the serial killer at the start of Child's Play?
I have Chucky by Thomas, and that's incorrect.
That is incorrect. It's close.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, you're incorrect.
That's incorrect. Why did our feet die on the TV? That's what I want to know. You know, like it doesn't pop up on our TV.
I know. I'm
It
watching it.
froze itself.
Oh, Cliff, you're close.
Aw, Cliff.
You're very close.
Just maybe give it a 10 seconds.
Yep.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The Lakeshore Strangler.
The Lakeshore Strangler.
Yes, but he also had a name.
Charles Lee Ray.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Maria
Yes.
got it right before.
Okay. Will we give
So
that to
Maria
you?
gets a point.
Okay.
We'll give Maria a point. I'm going to do a few easier.
Wait, I've got one.
Okay, then.
Let's hear it.
I've got one.
Go ahead.
Hold on. I'm gonna give a multiple choice.
Okay.
The villains in the Hellraiser movies are known as A, centipedes, B, cenobites, or C, cryptids. Once again,
Jeopardy sounds
the villains
Right?
in
Yeah.
the villains in the Hellraiser movies are known as A, centipedes, B, cenobites, C, cryptids.
Matt Owens got it with 3.
So Matt gets a point.
Hey, Matt. Getting on that game board. Excellent.
Okay, somebody go next.
All right. I'm going to go next. Just because I'm going to give a few easier ones. I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy. What was the movie?
The movie quote is,
I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy.
we need the title of the movie. Should I do it in a voice and make it really easy?
That would be good.
Yeah.
If you would like to. I can't play it.
All right, so for this question, we're going to give you a movie quote, and you need to give us the title of the film. The quote is, I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy. Or, I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy.
Cliff got it. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yay.
Way to get on the board.
All right.
There must be a serious lag because Nathan just answered B for
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
there's a lag on my side too.
2 questions ago.
That's crazy. Okay.
There's definitely a lag.
All right. Next quote. We need to have the movie title. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
Come on, viewers.
All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
That really is an easy one.
I
Yes.
know. I've been doing it so we can get points on it.
All right, so the movie quote is, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. What is the title
is
of
the
the
title?
movie? Thomas says Mr. Mom,
No.
though that was a scary movie.
Yes, but not Mr. Mom.
I mean, like, yeah.
I wonder if that was.
All right, so we have an answer for that one.
Okay.
Yes, we do.
Who said it?
Gets a point.
Yay, Cliff. Good job. Okay. Our next one. Trust is a tough thing to come by these days. Trust is a tough thing to come by these days. What's the movie title?
The quote is, trust is a hard thing to come by
Tough-
these days.
Tough thing to come by these days.
Trust is a tough thing to come by these days. Name the movie.
Oh, wow, my feet started back up again.
What was it, Dead?
It was.
We haven't seen anything popping up for a while. And then
Oh, well, see, you need to tell me these.
the last one said, "Yay, Cliff." So I was,
Yeah, it's definitely that.
I mean, we see ourselves talking, but we don't see people right.
Yeah.
They have both of their phones on, so we're good.
Maria got it.
Yay! It's the thing.
So Maria gets a point.
Maria is in the lead right now.
Tom, you have to get the last
It's about time a lady
Okay.
in the lead.
Hey, what's up there, John Mitchell?
Hello, John
Hi.
Mitchell. Okay, this will be fun. The next one is, it's been a funny sort of day, hasn't it? It's been a funny sort of day, hasn't it? What's the movie title? Do you know? Now! Okay. Barbara said it, if that helps you. It's been a funny sort of day, hasn't it?
The quote is, it's been a funny sort of day, hasn't it? Name the horror movie. Everyone should know this.
Yay!
Thomas says, are you kidding me, Vicky?
What? Am I kidding? We what? Isn't it a good one? What?
You're like looking at me.
I tried. I just want to the number thing go 9 and 11 and 7 top. That makes no sense.
You're like
What?
Facebook.
Oh.
Are you
Yep, now it's
kidding?
10.
Maria. Okay, girl, Shaun of the Dead, yes.
Yay!
She
Thank you,
said,
Maria.
she said, my British spider senses are tingling. Yeah, she's from overseas.
Oh, what?
All right, so Maria gets a point.
Leave it to the British person.
You got this.
Okay.
What are we at point-wise? Is that our...
We got Maria going.
Maria has
pretty good.
4. Thomas and Cliff both have 2, and then Matt has 1.
Okay, those were not in a tie right now.
No, why not?
I'm going to give everybody a really easy one. If they don't get it, I don't know.
Okay.
I ate his liver with fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Yes.
Name the movie. The quote is, I ate his liver with fava beans and a nice Chianti.
I feel like I should do this.
All right,
You
we
got a
have an
little picture
answer.
What is it?
Thomas with Silence of the Lambs. Yay! Yay! You're catching up, Thomas.
Yeah, we're gonna have to start having a tie soon.
Yes.
Kitty, do you have one?
I do not.
Right.
Here's Johnny.
Disregard that. We've already used that movie.
All right, next one.
One of you.
Get out of your pants. What is the movie? Get out of your pants. I say this all the time.
Oh.
Kinda nice.
Well.
It's getting late. I'm sorry.
Well.
I'm sorry. That was my quote. Okay. What's the movie title?
The quote is, "Get out of your pants."
Yeah, Thomas answered The Shining, but that is wrong.
Not The Shining.
No, I believe that was when Frank gave that other, the one we
Okay.
disregarded.
We discarded. Oh, disregarded. We discarded that.
Nathan says Hannibal. He might still be in a lag.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's talking about.
The current quote is, "Get out of your pants." What is the movie?
We didn't order nothing.
All right, Blake, stop.
All right. It was not the answer we wanted. I'm sorry. No, you didn't get it right. Shush.
Blake, shush. Get away from the door.
Yeah, you know me. I just
All right, so what was the answer?
Tremors. Tremors.
All right, this is going to have to be the last one for all the marbles.
Ooh.
Do you want to do an easy one or a hard one? Easy one or hard?
Throw him a bone. Give him an easy one.
I see dead people.
That's extremely easy.
I see dead people.
The movie is "I See Dead." I mean, the quote is "I see dead people."
I see
Yeah.
dead people. That'd be such a
We need the movie.
I see dead people. Come on, people.
Yes, come on.
We should do it slow.
Oh my.
Anybody come up?
Six
Yes.
senses.
We have Matt Owens with Sixth Sense, which is correct.
Good. So we have Maria
As our winner.
as our arena. Oh, that was a cool little. I don't know what that is. So James, we got Maria.
Okay, so Maria's our winner.
Yay!
Maria wins volumes 1 and 2
Uno, dos.
of Zombies versus Robots. Maria, make sure you message the Dead Dollies page, message the inbox, and send us your mailing address so that we can get those out to you.
It gets late. I get crazy.
Don't we all?
Yes.
Yes, Maria, you did win.
Yes. It was exciting. Girl power.
Yes.
All right, so last things for today, something that I got to make sure I point out and get it out there for everybody so that they know. We will, starting next week, actually starting in 2 weeks when you're back,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to be having a slight little name change to the show. We will still be Dead Dollies Live on Dead Dollies TV network, but the show, I'll let you all announce the new title, unless you can't remember.
Harlots. That's all I got.
The Horror Harlots.
The Harlots. I was like, I only know the one word, guys.
It's the important one.
Oh, you
So
know.
yes, these ladies will be the Horror Harlots on Dead Dollies Live,
Mm-hmm.
and we have a page set up, but I got to make some modifications to it and then make it public again. So we still want you to like, share, invite all your friends to like and share the Dead Dollies page, as that's like, home central.
Yes.
We'll be having some great news ongoing on the Dead Dollies page. We'll have the entire format set up for more horror news, which we posted daily. And
you can
so
also
with-
put on there if they want us to talk about different topics.
Yeah.
Suggest
Yeah.
topics.
Yep, you can always message and suggest things that you wanna have us, you want to hear about. If you don't want to message the Facebook page, you can email us at deaddolliesmultimedia@gmail.com. And I'm gonna let you ladies take it out. We're a few minutes over, but we started a few minutes late, so
True.
we'll be having some wonderful stuff. We're gonna have a little photo session and meeting right after the show, and we'll be bringing you some news over the next few weeks. So with all that said, ladies, I turn it back to you, and you can say your goodnights.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Victoria Stevens.
I'm Carrie Rose.
And I'm Cutie Sage.
Stay safe, and we'll see you next Tuesday.